before we start, let me ask some questions. Do you feel that your Mesa is kind of weak? Do you feel like your Mesa is not quick enough in swinging her pistols? Are you craving for more power? If the answer to all those questions is yes, then stick around and I will show you how to create a crazy fast gun-slinging Mesa build. But agility won't be enough. We need something to increase the overall damage output of Mesa for this build, without sacrificing both efficiency and survivability. To do this, let us add Vigorous Swap in Mesa. Okay, settle down lads. I know what you are thinking. You're thinking that I have lost my mind for still putting a mod that has no awesome interaction with Peacemaker anymore. I know that after it was patched, Vigorous Swap now deactivates when an ability weapon is active, including Mesa's Peacemaker. Well, the wording here might be a bit misleading after testing it out just a bit. The deactivation refers to the buff not being renewed while in Peacemaker, not the buff completely turning off when you enter your fourth ability. If you like to move around from one spot to another, or you use her generally in a way where you don't just activate Peacemaker and sit around while you drain your energy for no reason, the nerf is a lot less severe than the patch notes make it out to be. After switching out of Peacemaker, it obviously still counts as a weapon swap, so if you have a fast-paced playstyle, you will still benefit around 2 seconds from the Vigorous Swap buff while going into Peacemaker again, and after that, unless you are in Peacemaker longer than 2 seconds, you repeat the cycle by swapping out of Peacemaker, which will refresh the buff for switching in and out on your fourth ability. If you did not get all of that, then let me summarize it. Long story short, after you deactivate your Peacemaker, Vigorous Swap will proc, then you activate Peacemaker again to get the buff from the mod. What the fuck, squad leader? Why did you have to say all of that, when you can easily say that you can benefit from the buff from switching in and out of your Peacemaker? Well, that's how YouTube algorithm works now, boys. We have to extend this video to 10 minutes to get those greens coming. I'm just kidding. You know that I'm always detailed with my explanation, so forgive me for doing so. Anyway, let's proceed to the build section of this guide. The focus of this build is efficiency, duration and power strength. I did not add range, since we will not be crowd controlling with Mesa. Well, the best crowd control on this game is a room full of dead enemies, and Mesa's Peacemaker can give you that ability. Both Umbral Vitality and Umbral Intensify will help out in increasing the power strength of our build, without sacrificing any efficiency. It's also the best option to get that 95% damage reduction coming from your Shatter Shield ability. Both Streamline Form and Speed Holster are perfect for the Vigorous Swap. These two mods makes the animation of Peacemaker faster. The faster you can deactivate and activate your Peacemaker, the more effective the buff you get from Vigorous Swap. The rest of the mods are pretty self-explanatory, so now, let's proceed to how I mod my Exalted Pistols for this build variant. The idea is pretty simple: add as much fire rate, damage, and supplement it with 2 dual status mods, which elements depend on what faction you are facing. The thing about Vigorous Swap is it stacks additively with damage mods, which is why I did add Hornet Strike on this build, but did opt with Magnum Force. Why not? Barrel Diffusion is better, since it indirectly affects the status chance of our Exalted Pistols. Multi-shot mods gives our regulators a chance to spawn 1 or more additional bullets when fired, with each bullet being able to generate its own instance of a critical hit or status effect separate to the main bullet. Take note that this build is also tailored for faster fire rate, so it means that this build makes Peacemaker faster and fires more bullets, which then results to faster kills per seconds. Honestly, I find Vigorous Swap the one of the best in slot for Mesa right now, because of so many reasons. One is that, honestly, Mesa shines with her Peacemaker. She honestly don't need any crowd control unless you want some dumb fun with her Shatter Shield ability. Like I've said, the best crowd control is dead enemies in seconds. So, adding range is not really necessary unless you want to. Also, Mesa don't need additional survivability mods, especially with this type of build. The 95% damage reduction from your Shatter Shield would be enough if you are constantly moving. Adaptation is not necessarily needed, since you won't be staying in one spot with this build. Remember, this mod does need a few hits to fully take advantage of that 90% damage mitigation from a specific damage type. She doesn't need efficiency, nor duration for this build, since I already added the necessary mods to reduce the drain, and as well as activation cost of Peacemaker, additional damage is probably the best option. And you can add either a power strength mod or you can go fancy with the additional damage and holster speed that Vigorous swap gives. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Please leave a like if you did find this video informative, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Warframe videos from us. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.